The Young and the Restless spoilers full. Welcome back to the channel. Everyone, today is a beautiful day, but things in Genoa City are absolutely exploding with drama, and we have a massive amount of chaos to unpack. Grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's dive right into the absolute madness that just went down. I cannot believe they just did this to Billy Abbott. I am literally shaking with anger typing this up right now because what in the actual world was that episode? They just arrested Billy. Again. And for what? It is so completely unreasonable and unnecessary that I am actually screaming at my television screen. React first, explain later, right? But I just can't even wrap my head around the sheer audacity of the writers to throw Billy behind bars right when things were finally getting somewhat stable for him. I mean, we all know Billy has a history of making a massive mess of his life, but this arrest makes absolutely zero sense. It feels like a cheap plot device just to isolate him, and it is infuriating. I have been watching this show since 2015, and I have never seen a more forced setup to create drama. And don't even get me started on the GCPD, because honestly, the police in this town are a complete joke. They just swoop in, slap cuffs on a man who is actively trying to turn his life around, and toss him in a cage without a second thought. It is so incredibly frustrating to watch as a longtime fan. We have watched Billy fight his demons, fight his addictions, fight his own worst impulses for years. He has clawed his way back to some semblance of sanity. And just when he is trying to be a good partner, a supportive man for a pregnant woman, they rip his freedom away over something so complex and unnecessary. But of course, the second Billy is in trouble. Who does he turn to? Victoria Newman. I know some people are loving this Billy interaction, but personally, I am sick to my stomach. Billy only had enough time to see Victoria at the station and desperately tried to explain his situation. All he wanted, his only focus, was that he needs to be out of there so he can be by Sally Spectra's side when she gives birth. He is literally begging his ex-wife for help to be with his current pregnant girlfriend. And you can just see the absolute fury and desperation in Billy's eyes. He is so angry about being locked up unjustly, but underneath that anger is just pure, unadulterated panic about Sally. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about Victoria's reaction in that visiting room. Because the jealousy radiating off of her was practically burning a hole through my screen. Am I the only one who caught that micro expression when Billy mentioned Sally and the baby? Victoria's face just hardened into stone. It is so incredibly complex because, on one hand, the love between Victoria and Billy has always been this beautiful, tragic, epic thing. They loved each other so deeply, and for a long time, they were the definition of a happy, fulfilled couple. We all remember their weddings, their family moments, the way they used to look at each other. Their love was genuinely beautiful, and I will always have a soft spot for the classic Billy days. But seeing him now, begging for her help to go play house with Sally, it is destroying Victoria inside. It makes her feel so much self-pity and sorrow for what she lost. She is looking at the man she used to call her husband, the father of her children, and realizing that his entire universe now revolves around another woman. And not just any woman, but Sally Spectra, the woman Victoria views as an absolute opportunistic grifter. You can see the wheels turning in Victoria's head. She is feeling so slighted, so abandoned, and instead of processing that like a normal, healthy adult, she is weaponizing it. So instead of helping the father of her children, she decides to go full Newman. Victoria is determined to tear Billy and Sally apart. And I am so here for villain Victoria, but I also hate IT. You know, like, I love the drama she brings because Amelia Heinel is acting her heart out. But I hate what she's doing to Sally. Victoria has always had this deeply ingrained need to control Billy. Remember when they tried this dynamic years ago when Billy was spiraling? Yeah, didn't work then either, but this time, Victoria has ammunition. She is letting her jealousy completely override her basic human decency. She doesn't just want Billy back, she wants to punish him for moving on. She wants to punish Sally for daring to take her place. And then we get to the confrontation. I am sorry, but the scene where Victoria goes to see Sally is one of the most chilling things I have ever watched on this show. Victoria literally struts into the room looking like the ice queen of Genoa City, and she doesn't even hesitate. She looks Sally dead in the eye with this terrifyingly calm demeanor and absolutely destroys her. Victoria threatens her. She tells her straight up that Billy is never getting out of jail. Can we talk about how unhinged that is? Victoria is basically playing God with Billy's freedom just to torture a pregnant woman. She is using her power, her Newman influence, and her status to mentally break Sally. Victoria tells Sally to just be a good little girl, accept her fate, and stop struggling. Don't try to fight it. I mean, the absolute nerve of this woman. She is standing there, knowing full well that Sally is emotionally fragile, knowing that Sally is carrying a baby, and she is deliberately trying to break her spirit into a million little pieces. Because Victoria wants Sally to feel exactly as helpless as Victoria felt when her marriage fell apart. It is pure psychological warfare. And it works. It completely works. Sally just breaks down. Sally Gowkick, she just wails, sobbing uncontrollably, and my heart just shattered. I know Sally isn't perfect. I know she has made mistakes and is currently holding onto massive secrets. But in this specific moment, Sally is just a terrified, expectant mother who is being bullied by a billionaire heiress. Sally is crying her eyes out because the man she desperately wants to rely on is locked in a cage, and the woman holding the key is her worst enemy. Imagine the sheer terror Sally is feeling right now. She is pregnant, hormonal, and completely vulnerable. She has already lost one baby. We all remember the absolute tragedy of baby Ava. The trauma of that loss is still so fresh, and now Victoria is standing over her, telling her that she is going to have to do this all alone because Billy is never coming back. How could anyone be so cruel? It is despicable. I actually hate Victoria right now. I really do. Okay, back to the point. Let's circle back to Billy, because the absolute tragedy of this entire scenario is Billy sitting alone in that cold, dark jail cell. He has absolutely no idea what is happening on the outside. He doesn't know that Victoria went to Sally. He doesn't know that his desperate plea for help was basically handed over to the devil herself. Billy is just sitting there, feeling so sad, so isolated, and so incredibly lonely. You can literally see the defeat in his posture. The man just wants to be a good father. He lost Delia. He has been through absolute hell and back with his kids. And now he thinks he is going to miss the birth of this new baby because of some ridiculous, unjust arrest. He is staring at the walls of his cell, probably replaying every mistake he has ever made, thinking he has failed yet again. And it makes me so incredibly mad because Billy is trying so hard to be better. He has been trying to romance Sally, trying to be the supportive partner. And the universe, or rather, the writers and Victoria Newman just keep kicking him when he is down. Am I crazy for wanting Billy to just have one moment of peace? I mean, I know it's a soap opera, but come on, give the guy a break. He is sitting there trusting Victoria, believing that the mother of his children will do the right thing and help him get back to Sally. The irony is just sickening. He thinks Victoria is his lifeline, but she is actually the one tying the noose around his relationship. Let's really analyze Victoria's psychology here for a second. Because she isn't just acting out of malice. She is acting out of a deeply wounded ego. Victoria Newman does not lose. She especially does not lose to someone like Sally Spectra, a woman she views as a total fraud. For Victoria, Billy loving Sally is an insult to her very existence. It invalidates all the years she spent trying to fix Billy. So when she threatens Sally, she isn't just threatening her about Billy's jail time. She is trying to assert her ultimate dominance. She is telling Sally, I hold the power here. I hold Billy's life in my hands, not you. You are nothing. I've been watching this show religiously, and this is honestly the most ruthless I have seen Victoria in a very long time. It reminds me of Victor at his absolute worst. She is truly her father's daughter right now. Remember when Victor would do anything to keep his family in line, crushing anyone who got in his way without a second thought? Victoria is doing the exact same thing to Sally, but what makes it so much worse is the emotional manipulation. She is using Billy's genuine, heartfelt plea for help as a weapon against the woman he loves. It is sick, it is twisted, and I cannot look away. And Sally, oh, Sally, my heart aches for her. The guilt and fear she must be feeling right now. She is carrying this baby, she's dealing with all this stress, and now Victoria is terrorizing her into submission. The stress alone is so dangerous for the pregnancy. If Victoria causes Sally to have complications, I swear I will never forgive the writers. You don't mess with a pregnant woman like that. You just don't. Predicting what's coming next, oh, it is going to be an absolute bloodbath. Because eventually, Billy is going to get out. The truth always comes out in Genoa City. And when Billy finds out that Victoria used his lowest moment to go and torture Sally, he is going to explode. The rage is going to be biblical. I am predicting a screaming match that will tear the Newman executive offices apart. Billy is going to realize that the woman he thought was his ally is actually his biggest nightmare. But then again, wait, what if Victoria somehow spins this? What if she convinces Billy that she was just trying to protect him? Nitrogen monoxide. I refuse to accept that. Victoria's actions here are completely indefensible. She is crossing a line you just cannot uncross. I know some fans are probably cheering Victoria on. I see you guys in the forums saying Sally deserves it and Billy belongs together forever. But personally, I think this is toxic as hell. You don't lock a man in a cage and threaten his pregnant girlfriend just because you feel a little nostalgic and sad about your past marriage. That isn't love. That is obsession. That is control. And Billy needs to wake up and see Victoria for the ruthless dictator she truly is right now. So where does this leave us? Billy is rotting in a cell, completely in the dark, crying over his situation and feeling utterly alone. Sally is having a complete emotional breakdown, trapped under Victoria's thumb, terrified to breathe the wrong way or fight back. And Victoria is sitting in her ivory tower, absolutely thrilled with the destruction she has caused, drunk on her own power and jealousy. It is brilliant soap writing. I will give them that. I am hooked. I am angry, I am emotional, and I cannot wait for tomorrow's episode. But seriously, someone get Billy a lawyer. Call Michael Baldwin. Oh wait, Michael is busy dealing with Victor and Phyllis. Call someone, anyone. Just get him out of there before Victoria completely ruins 3 lives. I need to calm down. My heart is racing. But I mean, can you blame me? The stakes have never been higher. Let me know what you guys think, because I am losing my mind over here.